All right, Bills Mafia, listen up. Your Buffalo Bills are grinding harder than ever this offseason, chasing that next level of greatness, and with the 2025 NFL season right around the corner, every move matters. If you're fired up about our squad taking the next step, go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe. It helps more than you know and keeps the channel rolling with the freshest Bills updates. Now, let's dive into what's becoming one of the spiciest off-field sagas in Buffalo. James Cook, contract drama, and what this means for the future of the Bills. Let's not sugarcoat it. Things between James Cook and the Buffalo Bills right now. Yeah, not great. That's straight from NFL insider Ian Rappaport on the Pat McAfee show. Cook's been a machine for us. Back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons, 16 touchdowns on the ground last year, and another 3 in the playoffs. He's the kind of guy who helps take pressure off MVP Josh Allen and keeps defenses honest. And yet here we are, deep in the offseason, and no new deal. Instead, we've seen a flurry of contract extensions fly out of Brandon Beane's office. Josh Allen? Locked in for the long haul. Khalil Shakir signed. Greg Rousseau, Terrell Bernard, Christian Benford, all taken care of. But Cook? Crickets. Actually worse than crickets. This week, Cook put his house in Orchard Park up for sale. Photos of game balls, framed jerseys, Bills memories on the walls, but all of it now listed through Hunt Real Estate. You don't do that unless something's up. Sound off in the comments. Do you think Cook listing his house is just business or a sign he's on the way out? Now look, let's not panic. Yeah, Cook is still under contract through 2025. He'll be in a Bills uniform this season. That much is clear. But it's also clear that negotiations didn't go smoothly, and that's where things get dicey. Cook's looking for around $15 million per year. That would put him in the same financial tier as Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. Let's be honest, that's elite money. And Cook? He's close, real close. But is he there yet? Brandon Beane addressed it head on at the NFL's annual league meeting, saying, "Just because we don't get something done this year doesn't mean we can't get something done before he's a free agent." So the door isn't shut, but it's definitely not wide open either. Now here's where this gets even more interesting. The Bills are clearly in championship window mode. They just gave Josh Allen a monster $330 million extension with a record $250 million guaranteed. That's Giannis level. Commitment. It's the kind of move you make when you know you've got your franchise centerpiece and you're going all in to build around him. Allen himself said, "What's $5 more million gonna do for my life than what I can do right now?" That kind of team-first mentality. That's why this guy's the face of Buffalo for years to come. And with Allen leading the way, the Bills are attracting free agents, building around talent, and staying competitive in an AFC that's an absolute battlefield, with Kansas City as the final boss. So where does James Cook fit into all of this? Last season, Cook was electric. Over 1,000 yards on the ground, 32 catches for 258 yards, and 18 total touchdowns between regular season and playoffs. That's elite production, especially for a guy on a rookie contract. But when you're talking about committing big-time money, $15 million a year, the front office has to weigh positional value. Let's be real. The NFL doesn't pay running backs like it used to. The league has shifted toward passing, and as valuable as Cook has been, running backs just don't get the same bag anymore, unless they're completely irreplaceable. And while Cook has shown flashes of dominance, the Bills have been known to plug and play in the backfield before. Don't forget, they've got Ty Johnson and signed a few versatile depth guys. Could they draft the RB late? Maybe. Or could they just ride out Cook's final year and reevaluate next offseason? That's looking more and more likely, but that's a dangerous game, and Cook knows it. That's probably why he's pushing now before another year of wear and tear on his body. Now here's where it gets fiery. If Cook comes out in 2025 and has another monster season, the Bills might have to pay him. But if he underperforms, or if the offense changes under a new OC, that leverage evaporates. He's betting on himself. And if we're being honest, that's a bet he's won before. But here's the catch. Are the Bills willing to bet on him too? Or are they already eyeing a cheaper replacement down the line? The way they've done with other positions in the past, if things don't improve in negotiations, or if Cook starts getting vocal mid-season, this could turn into a full-on saga. We've seen it happen before across the league. The good news? Cook's a pro. He'll show up. He'll ball. And as of now, he's still wearing red, white, and blue. But as we know in Buffalo, loyalty and business don't always mix. By the way, while we're talking big-name Bills, let's not ignore the quarterback room. Josh Allen, fresh off an MVP season where he threw for 3,031 yards, 28 TDs, and added 12 more on the ground, is leading the league in more than just stats. According to Sports Illustrated, Buffalo has the best QB room in the NFL. Period. Behind him, Mitch Trubisky, Mike White, and Shane Buechele. Solid depth. No panic if Allen tweaks an ankle. But let's be honest, this team goes as far as Allen takes us, and if he and Cook are both at full speed, that's a nightmare for defenses. But if that relationship starts to crack, or worse, ends after this year, it could mean a big shift in the offensive identity. Let's talk facts first. Wide receiver Mac Hollins is officially a Patriot. He signed a 2-year, $8.4 million deal with New England, and just like that, his chapter in Buffalo is closed after just one season. Now, if you're sitting there thinking Mac Hollins, really, that's our biggest free agency loss? You're not alone. On paper, he had a decent 2024 season. 31 receptions, 378 receiving yards, and a team-high 5 receiving touchdowns. Not eye-popping numbers, but respectable. And more importantly, timely. Hollins had a knack for making big plays in big moments. But here's the thing. It wasn't just about stats with Mac. He was a locker room leader, a culture guy, the kind of player who showed up to Highmark Stadium barefoot. Yeah, you heard me, barefoot, with energy, confidence, and a work ethic that resonated with fans and teammates alike. Ryan Phillips of Sports Illustrated called him the Bills' most important free agent loss this offseason. And while we might argue that others could have earned that title, there's no denying Hollins played a bigger role than most people gave him credit for. With Hollins out, the Bills didn't waste any time finding someone to fill the void. Enter Joshua Palmer. The 25-year-old wideout comes to Buffalo from the Los Angeles Chargers, where he put together some strong performances despite a carousel of quarterbacks and injuries. Palmer brings speed, great hands, and perhaps more upside than Hollins in terms of route running and versatility. So, is this technically an upgrade? From a pure talent and youth perspective, possibly. But remember, Palmer has to fit into the Bills' offensive system, build chemistry with Josh Allen, and bring the same kind of locker room presence that Hollins provided. That's a tall order, and let's not forget Buffalo might not be done yet. There's still the 2025 NFL Draft. And word is the Bills are seriously considering adding another wide receiver to the mix. You've heard the names. Matthew Golden. From Texas, Keon Coleman, and a few day 2 sleepers from smaller schools. Don't count any of them out just yet. Let's go deeper for a second. You know this isn't Madden. This is real life. And what guys like Mac Hollins bring to a team can't always be quantified. He was a vocal leader, a veteran voice in the receiver room. A guy who brought swagger and style to every game, literally and figuratively. That barefoot walk to the stadium, that wasn't just a gimmick, that was symbolic of his grounded nature and focus. It became a ritual that fans looked forward to. And in a season that had its ups and downs, Hollins gave us something to rally around. He also had a great rapport with Josh Allen, who's always quick to praise his receivers. And let's face it, any WR who earns Allen's trust is someone worth keeping around. So why didn't the Bills re-sign him? Well, it's the business side of football. General manager Brandon Beane has been active this offseason, extending stars like Christian Benford, Terrell Bernard, and of course that blockbuster $330 million deal for Josh Allen. The team had to make tough financial choices. And while Hollins made a strong case for staying, the front office likely viewed Palmer as a more strategic long-term investment. Now that Hollins is gone and Palmer is in, let's look at the wide receiver room heading into the draft. You've got Joshua, Palmer, projected starter and potential. WR2 Khalil Shakir, the emerging star who earned his extension after stepping up in 2024. Curtis Samuel, the versatile playmaker signed this offseason. Justin Shorter, still developing, but a name to watch. Andy Isabella and KJ Hamler. Speed guys looking for a role. It's a solid group, but is it elite? That's where the 2025 NFL Draft comes in. If the Bills want to give Josh Allen every weapon possible, they may look for another explosive receiver who can stretch the field, get separation, and maybe even become the next Stephon Diggs level addition. And hey, don't sleep on the idea of trading up. We've seen Brandon Beane do it before. Now here's the twist. Not only did Mac Hollins sign with the Patriots, but he's joining a familiar face. Former Bills superstar Stephon Diggs. That's right. New England is stacking up veteran receivers like it's going out of style, trying to give rookie QB Drake May a real shot at success. Does this move make the Patriots better? Slightly, but more importantly, it adds fuel to the AFC East fire. Buffalo versus New England is always intense, and now the Patriots are arming themselves with former Bills to try and crack the code. Will it work? That's another story. So, Bills Mafia, here's the question. Do you think the team should pay James Cook top running back money? Or is it smarter to let this season play out and make the call next offseason? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. Would you open the checkbook or stick with the next man up mentality that's built this roster? This team is right on the edge. We've got the MVP at QB, a rock-solid defense, and a front office that's willing to make bold moves. But if the Cook situation goes sideways, it could shake the locker room and shift the dynamic of this team. This is going to be one of the biggest storylines to watch heading into training camp and through the season. And you can bet we'll be covering every twist and turn right here. So if you haven't yet, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of the action. We've got more exclusive news, interviews, and fan breakdowns coming your way every single week. Stay locked in, stay passionate, and as always, go Bills.